Hey Internet, I just wanted to go over my installation here. Keep in mind it's not finished, especially this part right here. It's not very good, but I want to go over my sub installation for my 2014 Jeep Wrangler JKU Rubicon. First things first, always disconnect your leads or you will be buying fuses or burning something. Like I said, this part right here, I really just want to make sure everything works. Currently it's safe, but I want to make it better. The zip ties aren't the strongest. So anyway, Jeep has designed this well actually, so you can tap into that lead, put your ring mount on there, tighten it down, and come across. Go down. This is automatic, so there's a hole in the firewall where the clutch would normally pop through. I've used that. It's just a sticker. You can use a box knife to slit it open, slide through whatever you want to, and then seal it back up however you please. However you see appropriate. We're going to go clockwise around this guy. Yeah, so come down, leave a little slacks because I'm not sure exactly how much I'm going to need here. But I do need to start taping. So I like to go along existing runs. So they're in factory locations. I'll start with power though. So power comes down here, runs underneath. I did want to point out the nice thing about Jeeps. I don't know if they do this anymore. This is 14. These the existing runs have these attachments, these fasteners here, and they just pull straight up for the most part. I mean, they're on screws, so they might be a little tight depending on how much tension's on them, like that one. But most of these just pull. Yeah, see, that one came right up. So that you can get tape underneath there and wrap it up. This is not my final tape job. I tape it up every once in a while to keep things in place where I want them to, but I want to be able to move it if I have to. I don't want to waste a whole bunch of tape and time. Come across there. Oh, before I forget, you got to tap into the cigarette lighter for the accessory. I haven't really found another good place unless you're going to go all the way to the front through the firewall again. Come down, come across, try to follow existing runs again, come across here. It starts following the same path as your main power. Now, I do want to point out that here's a decision I made here underneath the carpet, but here I have put the line between the mount point for the seat belt and the hinge mount point for your seats. The reason being is this needs to move to come around the seat. I could put it underneath here, but there's not a whole lot of, there's some missing carpet to accommodate flat. It's going to rub, pinch. Eventually, it wouldn't go well, especially for your passengers sitting right here. So that's why I ran it underneath here. Then it kind of follows this little lip here for your wheel well. Kind of sits inside there and comes back around and turns in. So we'll keep going backwards here. All right, come out underneath the carpet. These right here underneath on the actual tub are great mount points. There's some raw metal, exposed metal facing up. You can just sand it down, put your ring mount on for your ground, and move on. All right, the sub mounting procedures, I suppose you could say. I had this up front. I spent hours and hours trying to figure out how this was going to work and where to put it. So eventually came back here and said, well, I guess I'm going to end up putting it down here. This may be a heat problem. That's my disclaimer. Do this at your own risk. Just to let you know, I don't know how much power you're running through yours or what you're running back here, but this has little to no ventilation. So as soon as I get the subs in here, I'm going to start testing the heat and make sure I can put this and leave this here. Anyway, aside from all of that, this OEM tray, it's the part that flips down and sits right in here. It's pretty sturdy because it's got a whole weight, right? So they've made it pretty sturdy. And I ended up drilling right into it, and I had to fiddle around with finding the right position. It's kind of counterintuitive. This sits over the lip. You'd think it needs to go more forward, but when it comes down the tub, it doesn't fit right. So what I ended up doing, this whole piece comes forward, flips out. Before you drill anything down, before you connect anything up, pull this out, place this where you think it's going to go, take the plastic insert out, which just pulls up, pretty easy, and flip it on top, because if you notice, the moldings here fit perfectly. So you can tell if it's going to fit right and where it needs to be. Sit it flat, position it with this, let it sit, drill it in place, test it all out again, flip it over, make sure everything fits correctly. And it does. It's kind of nice. So yeah, speakers are separate on the other side. They've run across the other direction. Don't want any power noise coming through. So fits kind of nicely, and it's gone. Looks like stock. That's a water tube that feeds down underneath these guys for camping, showers, and washing your feet off at the beach. I can do another thing about that later, but that needs some work as well. It's not very pretty. This, again, not pretty. I can do another whole video about that as well. Anyway, coming down through here, same deal on this side with the speaker wires and the adapters. The adapters actually right here. So your OEM subwoofer cable comes through here. You can tap into that and just use the high outputs if that's what your amp's designed for. Granted, it's filtered based on whatever's pushing to that sub back there. So I might end up moving that to the speakers, which I believe the rear speakers wires run through here up and across your sound bar, so I could tap into that pretty easily and try and grab the signal off of those. Okay, again, the runs coming through up here, taping every once in a while. These pull up again. It's kind of nice. Follow the existing runs, leave some excess, tape by color so I can remember which side is which and correspond it to the back. This is my remote wire. I'm not sure where it's going to go yet. So I've left the excess up here, so I think I'm going to end up putting it in the console so you can't see it. If you need it, you just open it up and adjust. Anyway, what I did want to show you, kind of the whole point of doing the video, was that there's this open space between your parking brake and the tub or the floorboard, whatever you want to call it, that goes over the transmission and your gearbox, your differential. So this may end up burning me literally. I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that since it's so far back, there's not a whole lot of heat back here like there is up here with the warning, because this is more of where your stuff's at. Yeah, so left excess so I can move back and forth wherever it's going to end up being. Nice thing about his speakers is they're going to be wide enough so that they're trapped underneath the seat, so nobody can just come in here and yank it out and get away with it. Yeah, you can put some Loctite on the bolts and all that good stuff. So I'm excited. It's coming soon. Oh yeah, I want to show you. Right here is where I was going to put the amp. It was a little tight, and it interfered with the operation of the seats, so I didn't want to put that there. Other than that, it's all stock. I did buy the cheap $67 kickers to go in here. They do sound better on the high end so far. I haven't really pumped a lot through it because I don't want to blow anything before everything's hooked up properly. So I'll do another video and upload it when I have everything else put in to show you how it looks. Thank you.